Hello again, everyone, and welcome to this Sunday edition of Thoroughbred Action. Beautiful and blustery Gulfstream Park on this February 10th. Jason Blewett joining you. Glad you've stopped by. We've got a lot of ground to cover. In fact, a dozen races on the show. So without further ado, as they say, let's send it on up to Pete Aiello for much, much more.
12 races on the program here this afternoon on the heels of a great Saturday afternoon. We have a fast main track and a firm turf course here today. 12 races in total. First of the day over the turf at 1 1/8. Claimers in for $16,000. A field of 9 signed on. Favorites included 4 Apart from the Crowd and 6 Family Kitten.
Racing at Gulfstream. Could start out wide for the gray False Accusation, who's headed off for the early lead. Apart from the Crowd splits horses to take second. Family Kitten is out of there in third. Back to fourth is Snake Oil Charlie, racing ahead of On Cruise Control. Then it's Ode to the Hunt, who's at the rail. 2 back to Arpanella, who's third last. Mr. Papillon is second last, and the trailer is Sweets. They make the charge to the first turn, and False Accusation and Lionel Reyes in front 3 parts of a length, now making a length. Toward the inside, Apart from the Crowd is a joint second, alongside Family Kitten from third. Then back fourth, at Snake Oil Charlie, racing ahead of On Cruise Control. Next at the inside is Ode to the Hunt. 2.5 to Arpanella, still at the back, Mr. Papillon, and Sweets. They complete the opening quarter and head into the backstretch with False Accusation in front to half a length. Family Kitten creeps a bit closer second, Apart from the Crowd, getting a good ground-saving trip third under Landeros. 2 back to fourth, running Snake Oil Charlie. Then at the rail goes Ode to the Hunt, and On Cruise Control is 3 wide on the outside. Arpanella is next, followed at the back by Sweets and Mr. Papillon. 49 4 for a half mile after an opening quarter in 24 2, inside half a mile from home. With the advantage, it's still False Accusation by a neck. On the outside, Family Kitten is second, Apart from the Crowd races from third, still on hold. Ode to the Hunt has made steady ground down at the inside fourth. Back fifth is On Cruise Control, then Arpanella as they run to the top of the stretch. They went 3 quarters in 1:14 4, and there's less than a quarter of a mile to go. 3 wide, Apart from the Crowd's going to get first run on the leader. Ode to the Hunt's going to try to thread the needle. Not much room in there yet, with 1/8 of a mile left to run. It's Apart from the Crowd who comes away with the lead. Down the center, Arpanella's coming at him and coming on, and On Cruise Control from between. Apart from the Crowd is clear close to home. Apart from the Crowd to win it. Arpanella was second. On Cruise Control finished third, then False Accusation and Ode to the Hunt in 150 flat.
Number 4, Apart from the Crowd, gets the perfect trip here today from jockey Chris Landeros, and the son of Gio Ponte has a good stretch kick to get the victory. Willie Curtinez in the Carl Liza Racing Stable. Second 5, Arpanella. Third was the 8, On Cruise Control. To the second race now on the start of the early pick 4, 6.5 furlongs the journey. Maiden Claimers in for $12,500. A field of 9. The favorite was the 4, Bally Squall.
And they're up. Do What It Takes away well from the center. My Sebastiana is showing speed. Up on the outside, Flash Proud Wild comes away in third. Mama Layla splits horses with Bally Squall. In tight between is One Classy Lady. Lady Kim is at the rail. Wide on the course at the back is Flying My Way. They head to the half-mile point, and with the advantage, My Sebastiana, 3 parts of a length. On the outside, it's Do What It Takes, getting a perfect spot second. Down at the inside third is Mama Layla, followed fourth by Lady Kim. Then it's Bally Squall, improving inside of Low Round Top. Flying My Way and Flash Proud Wild on the outside, and the trailer is One Classy Lady. They leave the backstretch and move on to the far turn, and with the advantage, My Sebastiana on top by a length and a half. Mama Layla is now second. Do What It Takes is back to third. Lady Kim running home from fourth. 3 back to the rail, and Bally Squall from fifth, and Flash Proud Wild with 5/16 to go. My Sebastiana trying to do it every step. A quarter of a mile from the money and 2.5 on top. Mama Layla is a driven second, floating out Lady Kim, who's trying to run home from third, as My Sebastiana 3/16 from home and 5 on top. Mama Layla second. Lady Kim down the stand side is third with less than 1/8 to go. My Sebastiana by 4. Lady Kim trying to get to her on the outside second. My Sebastiana by 2.5. Lady Kim lunges late. My Sebastiana, Lady Kim surging. Lady Kim's in time. Lady Kim and Nick Juarez got up to win it. My Sebastiana was second, and Mama Layla third at 119 4.
Number 1, Lady Kim, was floated wide off the top of the turn and had a loose leader to catch, but she kicked it into high gear and ran down that loose leader to get the maiden diploma in her second start in South Florida. Her trainer Bob Hess Jr. and owner Iran Paolucci Racing Stable. Nick Juarez on board for the winning ride. Second, number 5, My Sebastiana, and third was the 2, Mama Layla. We'll be right back.
The best chance for success begins with a solid foundation. At Hardacre Farm, early personal one-on-one care starts the journey to becoming a champion. Bred to leading stallions, our mares represent the highest standards. Hardacre Farm's signature in the breeding industry. Based in Ocala, Florida, breeder and owner Amy Tarrant has inspired excellence throughout her entire career. In your quest for success, start with Hardacre Farm, breeding the champions of tomorrow.
We're back now for the third race of the afternoon. Claimers at 1 mile. They're in for a price tag of $6,250. A field of 9 signed on. Favorite was the 4, WW Concerto.
And they're off. From the center, WW Concerto wins the break and goes looking for the lead, but ridden at the rails. Some Dreams Come True wants to be part of the pace. Chauvanis is now asked for speed. These three across the course as WW Concerto fights to hold it. On the outside, Chauvanis keeps him honest, while second, Some Dreams Come True is at the rail third. Back to fourth in Game Day Drama, racing ahead of Dreamy Martini with Not Chopped Liver in between runners. 2 back to Love Tree, and the trailer is strong composition. 23-2 for a strong opening quarter speed. The leader is the favorite, WW Concerto. 3 parts of a length in front of Chauvanis in second. Some Dreams Come True is third. Dreamy Martini moves up at the rail for Juarez, now taking over third ahead of Not Chopped Liver. Then comes Game Day Drama ahead of Love Tree, and strong composition is last. They pass the half mile and move to the far turn. Up front, it's still WW Concerto. Chauvanis is up on the outside now within a half a length of the lead. 2 back to third running Dreamy Martini. Then it's a gap of 3 to Not Chopped Liver. The rest are struggling to get on terms with these top horses through a 46-1 opening half mile. There's 5/16 to go, and the leader is still WW Concerto. Dreamy Martini has a shot from second. On the outside, and Chauvanis third. Love Tree ridden but gaining from fourth. Quarter of a mile away, 3/4, 1:11-2, and they're at the top of the stretch. WW Concerto braces for the challenge of Dreamy Martini on the outside. Dreamy Martini now set down after the leader, and WW Concerto holding on the outside, and Dreamy Martini takes another run. WW Concerto, Dreamy Martini on the outside. Dreamy Martini at WW Concerto. WW Concerto would not be denied. Dreamy Martini had the entire stretch to get by, but could not. He was second. Il Farione was third in 1:38-1.
Number 4, WW Concerto takes a licking and keeps on ticking, holding on to win under jockey Chuck Lopez, the Minister of Speed. Gets another one with WW Concerto, who wins on the barn change for Jorge Navarro and the Big Frank stable. 3, Dreamy Martini had the entire stretch to get by, but had to settle for second ahead of the 2, Il Farione, who ran third. We move now to the 4th race of the day at 6 furlongs. Maiden Claimers in for $25,000. Scratch number 7, Lucky to Be in America. Off-time favorite was number 5, Queen's Bird.
And they're off. Slow to start, the newcomer, Warrior Spirit. Good start for the favorite, Queen's Bird. Follow his footsteps out with speed, and these two move ahead. Cagliari is third. Slamming on the brakes was Gedeon. Out wide on the course are Sovereign Warrior with Big Alex. Racing between horses goes Listen to the Lion ahead of Perfect Enough. And after a slow getaway, the trailer Warrior Spirit. They go to the half-mile point, and with the advantage, it's Queen's Bird and Tyler Gaffleone on top, a length and a quarter. Cagliari is very, very keen. Down toward the inside, well, in very tight. As up into second, only a neck off the lead as follow his footsteps. Trying to run home from fourth is Big Alex. Then back at the inside goes Listen to the Lion. Gedeon, who checked early, is still far behind at this stage with less than 5/16 to go. Queen's Bird held together by Tyler G up front. Past the quarter pole with a neck advantage. On the outside and follow his footsteps is still second. Cagliari is third. These three, the factors, as they wheel in. Follow his footsteps on the outside of Queen's Bird. Queen's Bird now has to kick on with it with an 1/8 of a mile to go. On the outside, and Cagliari from between horses follow his footsteps. 3 chances, 16th to run. Queen's Bird by 2.5. Cagliari on the outside is up into second. Queen's Bird will win it. Up second, Cagliari third, follow his footsteps, then Big Alex.
Number 5, Queen's Bird, responds to the barn change and gets the victory here this afternoon, giving former Major League slugger Mike Napoli his first thoroughbred owning victory. He owns this son of Birdstone for Aubrey Mirage, who trains Tyler Gaffleone, the winning rider. Second, number 3, Cagliari, and third was the 8, Follow His Footsteps. On now to the 5th race of the afternoon. This was a nice one, a 3-year-old allowance race. 6 furlongs the journey. These were fillies. Field of 6 signed on. The favorites were 2, Break Curfew, and 6, Oramore.
And they're off. Excellent start for Break Curfew, who's headed right off for the early lead. Farfalla comes away between horses. Wildwood's Beauty on the outside. Widest of all is Katie Lee. Then back to Oramore, and the early trailer is Brucia Laterra. They make their way to the half-mile point. It's 6-5. Break Curfew has the lead. In the two-path, Wildwood's Beauty is there second on the outside, and Katie Lee third. Just like last time, Oramore took a while to find her feet. She's now racing into fourth, ahead of Farfalla, who's fifth, and the trailer is Brucia Laterra. 22 seconds for the opening quarter speed. Around the far turn they go. Break Curfew urged to hold the lead. 3 wide. Oramore is on the move now from between horses and Wildwood's Beauty. These three have gone 3 ahead of Farfalla. Dropping anchor is Katie Lee, and there's a quarter of a mile left to go. Break Curfew fights to hold it. On the outside, Oramore going with good strides on the outside. In between horses and Wildwood's Beauty through a 45 and 2 half mile. Here's Oramore. Oramore now kicks away at the 8th pole. She leads by 3. Second is Wildwood's Beauty. Break Curfew is next. A late run from Brucia Laterra, but Oramore will push her record to 2 wins from 2 starts. She runs up the score late for Star Ladies Racing and wins by 5. Second, Wildwood's Beauty. Third was Break Curfew, and fourth was Brucia Laterra in 1:10 and 4.
Number 6, Oramore remains undefeated in 2 career races and really, at least in my view, has a look of a horse that will appreciate extra ground. She takes a while to get going, but her high gear is a pretty high gear. She gets the victory here for John Velasquez and Todd Pletcher with Star Ladies Racing, the winning owners, with this daughter of Florida Derby winner Orb. 4, Wildwood's Beauty was second. We move now to race number 6 on the program, 1 mile over the turf. This was an allowance race. 4 fillies and mares. Scratch number 5, Subtle Step. 6 to the gate. Favorite 4, Ferdinanda.
And they're off. Perfect beginning. Underestimate from the top shelf. We're trying to work over. In between horses, Lena Marie has speed. At the rail, it's Kaylee and Tammet not far away. Second last is Miss Munnings, and the big favorite Ferdinanda settles in 6th and last under Jose Ortiz and about 5 lengths off the lead of Lena Marie. Lena Marie is the longest shot in the field, rounds the turn on top, a length and a half. Tammet from between horses is now second. Kaylee at the rail third. 3 wide and underestimate now fourth, a gap of 3 to Ferdinanda, and now Miss Munnings is last. 23 and 1 for an opening quarter speed as they head down the backstretch. Brian Hernandez Jr. trying to harness the speed of Lena Marie, who leads the way a length and a half. Tammet is there second. Kaylee is at the rail third. Underestimate is 3 wide, while fourth under Luis Saez, 2.5 clear of Ferdinanda. Still unhurried at this point, and 2 to the trailer, Miss Munnings. They go half a mile from home with Lena Marie still the target, 46 and 4 for a half mile. Tammet now second, underestimate 3 wide third. Back at the inside, Kaylee is fourth. Ferdinanda starts to creep a bit closer, and Jose Ortiz hasn't really asked her to do it yet. Racing 2.5 clear of Miss Munnings, who's at the back through a 46 and 4 half mile. They run around the far turn, 4 wide. It's Ferdinanda who's making a blitz to the top. Underestimate is right alongside with Tammet. These 3 from the back, and Miss Munnings as they wheel in. It's still Tammet in front. Ferdinanda let go now to kick on for home. Miss Munnings down the center. She's going best of all. Miss Munnings runs right by Ferdinanda under Rod Ortiz Jr., and Miss Munnings goes from last to first to win going away. Second is Ferdinanda. Third is Underestimate. Fourth is Kaylee. Then Tammet and Lena Marie. 134 and 3.
Number 4, Ferdinanda struggles to get the victory. She gets a minor award again today. The win goes to number 6, Miss Munnings, who outkicks the favorite in the final 1/8 of a mile, as John Kimmel and Toby Morton have had a good weekend. They sprung an upset yesterday and get a minor upset here today. And Rod Ortiz Jr. on board for the winning ride. There was a dead heat for second between numbers 4 and 7, and number 1, Kaylee, finished 4th. Time for a commercial break. We'll be right back with the Rainbow Six.
And Ghost Zipper is pulling away. Ghost Zipper blows them away with an eye-opening performance. Awesome again has won. Ghost Zipper kicking clear. Judy the Beauty.
Back now for race number 7 on the program, 1 mile and the 16th, the journey in the first leg of the Rainbow Six. Maidens of the special weight variety scratch the 3, 4, and 9. Field of 7. Favorites were 2, Rise the Guy, and 10, Growth Engine.
And they're off. Clean beginning. From the outside, Mantra is ridden out to get the early lead, but there goes Ann Seek up the challenge, and in tight there was Rise the Guy. Wide on the course is Growth Engine. So as they hit the first turn, Goose Drank Wine pokes through at the fence to put a neck on top. Second is Ann Seek. Back to third is Impunity. Growth Engine is on the outside of Rise the Guy, so the favorites are in step with each other. They're about 4 lengths off the lead. They're followed by Mantra, and the trailer is the Trash Man's Coming. Around the first turn they go. The opening quarter was complete in 23 and 4, and at a big price, it's Marcos Meneses and Goose Drank Wine on top now by a length and a quarter. Second and Seek, third Impunity. Parked 4 wide for a backstretch run is Growth Engine, working 2 better than Rise the Guy, who's unhurried under Landeros, about 5.5 lengths off the lead, a neck better than Mantra, and the trailer is the Trash Man's Coming. They head down the backstretch and go to the half-mile point, and with the advantage, Goose Drank Wine through a 47 and 4 half-mile. He has the lead. Second is Anseek, third is Impunity, fourth is Growth Engine, but he's on the move now for Castellano. It's a gap of 3 to a ridden Rise the Guy who needs to launch an attack soon. Ahead of the Trash Man's Coming, then Mantra as they round the far turn. It's Growth Engine who comes away with the lead. Impunity is second. Rise the Guy now starts to find his best stride in the red cap. He's up into second. From his outside in the Trash Man's Coming as they run to the top of the stretch. There's a quarter of a mile left to go, and it's up front to Growth Engine. Growth Engine at the quarter pole leads the way. The Trash Man's Coming is now the nearest pursuer second. Rise the Guy made a big move to get into second, but he's flattening out and now back to third as Growth Engine hits the 8th pole on a 4-length lead. It's Growth Engine in front. Second is the Trash Man's Coming. Third is Rise the Guy, and that's how they'll finish. Growth Engine delivers as the big favorite. The Trash Man's Coming clearly second. Rise the Guy third. Then Anseek and Impunity in 1:45 and 1.
Number 10, Growth Engine, comes out of a super live race and makes a second start of his career a winning one. The son of Tappet powers to victory under Javier Castellano for Chad Brown in the Claridge stable. Second, number 7, the Trash Man's Coming, and third was number 2, Rise the Guy. We go to the 8th race now, the start of the late pick 5, 6 furlongs to the trip. Claimers in for $6,250. Scratch to 13, Don Figure. The favorite was the 1, Black Pepper.
And they're off. Check to last was Bound by Luck. Good start for Townie from the outside, who blasts to a clear advantage over Salambo, who moves to be second. High Mischief out of there third. Black Pepper, ridden by Alvarado Jr. to try to get some forward position, fourth and down toward the inside. Followed by My Mr. Wonderful and Loving Ard Simar, far outside, and Royalty Salvatore. Then back to Lumumba, 2 in front of Rigo with Cactus Catch Me, and Bound by Luck was slow into stride, and is last of all through a 22 and 2 opening quarter. They leave the backstretch and move on to the far turn. Townie by a neck. Salambo right up alongside now. These two sprint 3 better than Black Pepper, who's a driven third. Up on the outside, and Royalty Salvatore is now fourth. Back at the inside, and My Mr. Wonderful with 5/16 left to run. Salambo now blows by the leader, Townie, who's back to second while trying to fight on. Black Pepper just at a 1 pace, now tackled outside by Royalty Salvatore through a 45 and 3 half-mile. Salambo has the lead. It's Townie back for a little bit more. Royalty Salvatore, the danger down the center. Here's Royalty Salvatore, and Chris Landeros coming after Salambo. Salambo digs deep. Royalty Salvatore trying to press past. Salambo, Royalty Salvatore, here it is, photo finish. Very close. Salambo might have put him away. Royalty Salvatore right alongside, then Townie in 1:11 and 2.
Number 2, Salambo, crosses the wire first in the 8th race, but was disqualified, guilty of interference to the rider of number 12, Royalty Salvatore. Jockey Carlos Olivero with his arms inside the arms of jockey Chris Landeros. That's not allowed. So the 12, Royalty Salvatore, gets the win from 2, Salambo, who was placed second, and the 11, Townie, ran third. We move to the 9th race now, the start of the late pick 4, maidens on turf at 1 mile. A field of 11 signed on. Favorite was the 8, Valid Point.
And they're off. From the rail, Sky Chief gets the first call and fires to the top. Icarius has speed in the debut. Here's Ready for Prime Time up the challenge. In between horses, that's Hard Red Candy. So it will be Hard Red Candy to emerge on top. Right back at him is Icarius from second. Sky Chief wants to keep his spot toward the rail, but he's in very tight on heels while third. Ready for Prime Time saves ground in the 2-path to race on from fourth. Ducking over is the newcomer. That's Valid Point, who's down at the inside. He himself is a bit headstrong, working 2 lengths ahead of Spirit Spiritus Invictus. Then down at the fence goes Bar Harbor. He's about 8 lengths off the lead. Out 3 wide on the course is Rochambeau. 2 back to What a Show Off, and at the back is Sea of Cortez. Down the backstretch they go, and with the advantage, it's Hard Red Candy and Miguel Vasquez in front by a length. Sky Chief is now second. Up at the third is Valid Point. Down at the inside, Acarius follows along in fourth. It's a length and a half to Ready for Prime Time. Up on his outside goes Rochambeau. Bar Harbor is next. From the back and moving up a bit is Sea of Cortez with Spiritus Invictus. And now the trailer is What a Show Off. They leave the backstretch to move on to the far turn. 3 furlongs left to go. Hard Red Candy has the lead. Valid Point on a move on the outside. 3 wide and up into the joint second alongside Sky Chief. Ready for Prime Time is moving up with Rochambeau 4th and 5th. And they're at the top of the stretch. Valid Point, Hard Red Candy, and Sky Chief up front. These 3 with an 1/8 of a mile left, but Castellano and Valid Point have now kicked it into another gear. Bar Harbor, no place to go, late down the center and ready for Prime Time. They come to the wire. Valid Point is in front, and Valid Point will win it. Very close for second. Bar Harbor photos with Ready for Prime Time, then Hard Red Candy and Rochambeau. 136-1.
Number 8, Valid Point, hammered in the windows here by the wagering public, and that was a shrewd move as the son of Scat Daddy has a nice stretch kick, finishing up very well to get the maiden victory. Chad Brown and Javier Castellano, that's their second as a team today. E5 Racing Thoroughbreds, the winning owners with Michael Ryan. 6, Bar Harbor should absolutely win next time. He was flying on late ahead of the 7 Ready for Prime Time, who might be himself ready for prime time next time. Race 9 has the look of a key race. To the 10th race now in the start of the late pick 3 on turf at 1 mile and a 16th. Claimers in for $16,000. Scratch the alternates, a field of 12. Favorite was the 7, Jupiter Rising.
And they're off. From the center, Jupiter Rising gets the first call and is headed off for the early lead. Moving up is Good Old Boy, and up on the outside, here's Brag Dude, offensive-minded. In between horses, Get the Facts is looking for forward position as well. Get the Facts will land third behind Brag Dude, who's up front. It's Brag Dude, a length and a half in front. Get the Facts is very keen while racing in second. Back to third, Jupiter Rising. Then comes Good Old Boy to the inside of Stormy Justin. They work 2.5 better than Joe's Bold Cat with National Honor down at the inside. He's dropped better than 7 or 8 lengths off the lead. Then back to Great R's Resolve ahead of Lookin' Forever. The SoCal Invader Hoover Tower is third last. Second last while on hold is Electro, and the trailer is Sky Knight. Down the backstretch they go, and up front, Brag Dude leads the way 3 parts of a length. Get the Facts is there second. These 2 have opened 5 or 6 at least on Jupiter Rising, who's racing in third. On the outside, and Stormy Justin is now racing in fourth. At the inside, and Good Old Boy from fifth. Up on the outside goes Joe's Bold Cat, then National Honor, who's down toward the rail. As these top 2 continue to go very quick as they round the far turn. Get the Facts committed for home now. He really hasn't been asked for his best, but he's striding to a clear lead. Brag Dude is second. They're well clear of Jupiter Rising, a driven third, looking for stretch dangers, and they start to close ranks on this leader a touch with 1/4 mile left to go. Off the turn, it's Get the Facts on top by 4 lengths. Now here's a run from National Honor down at the inside, and he's taking up the slack with Jupiter Rising on the outside. 1/8 of a mile to go. National Honor hitting high gear as Get the Facts is hitting the wall. In deep stretch, National Honor powers to the front, and National Honor will win it. Get the Facts holds second. Up third was Good Old Boy, then Sky Knight.
An interesting flow to today's 10th race, but in the end, number 1, National Honor, kicked it into another gear inside that final 1/8 of a mile and got the victory, giving Nick Juarez a riding double. This one for Robert Falcone Jr. in the Final Turn Racing Stable. 6, Get the Facts held on for second after making first run ahead of the 2, Good Old Boy, who ran third. Time for a commercial break. When we come back, the West Point Thoroughbreds Race of the Day, the Sunday feature, right after this.
Whether you're at home or at the track, have a stake in the race when you bet with ExpressBet. Sign up for an ExpressBet online betting account and receive up to a $500 sign-up bonus.
Back now for race number 11 on the program, the West Point Thoroughbreds Race of the Day. 7 furlongs allowance race here. This was the feature of the day. A field of 10 off-time favorites included 7 Outshine and 8 The Right Path.
And they're off. Splice the Main Brace was off in traffic. It was a good start for the right path from the outside. Also away with speed is Admiral Lynch in between horses. Combination down at the inside. Our best friend DL moves into the top flight to take third. Back to fifth is WW Springtime, then Outshine with Squeeze Adios along the rail. The three at the back are Archidust, Splice the Main Brace, and Jungle Warrior. Down the backstretch they go, and at a big price, it's Admiral Lynch who throttles clear. Up on the outside, that's the right path, now a closer second. Combination is 3 wide third, Outshine is 4 wide fourth. Down at the inside on our best friend DL, here's a move from the outside from Archidust. He'll have to go 4 wide, back to Squeeze Adios and WW Springtime, then Jungle Warrior and Splice the Main Brace. Around the far turn they go. They went 22 and 4 for the opening quarter speed. Admiral Lynch in front to length and a half. The right path working awfully hard. Second up on the outside. Here's a run coming from Outshine. He's up into only 2 lengths off the lead. At the inside, our best friend DL hasn't been asked to quicken yet. Combinations alongside him with Archidust, and they're at the top of the stretch. 45 and 4 for a half mile. Outshine continues to close ground at Admiral Lynch in between horses in the right path, who's in tight. Final eighth of a mile. It's now Outshine who puts a neck on top. Admiral Lynch kicks on from second, back to third in the right path down the center combination, but Outshine will do exactly that. He'll win by 2 in the end. Admiral Lynch second, the right path third, then Combination in 123 flat. Away. Good start for Spindle Top and a good start for Sir Chubby. They're the first two out, rushing between horses Mind the Coin. Out 3 wide and Coleman Joseph. Tucking in inside Jerome Avenue to race about 5 lengths off the lead. Then comes Freedom's Flight, racing ahead of Salt King. Dropping over from the outside draws Flying Robin, moving out the rail Fiery Tail. And the two at the back are Betterment and Also Negro. Around the first turn they go, and there are 4 across the course here. On the far outside, Coleman Joseph parked wide under Jaramillo with the inside edge is Spindle Top. In the 3 path is Sir Chubby, and the 2 path is Mind the Coin. Cathleone trying to rein him back and let the others go on. Racing from 5th is Freedom's Flight, 2 better than Jerome Avenue. It's a gap of another 3 to Salt King. He's dropped better than 8 or 9 lengths off the lead. Betterment tries to get underway from the back. Just ahead of him are both Fiery Tail and Flying Robin, and Also Negro still lingers in the back of the group through a 47 and 3 half mile. Inside half a mile from home as they swing to the far turn, Sir Chubby comes away with the lead. Coleman Joseph is second. Spindle Top is back to third. Mind the Coin worked on well, 4th, 5th inside, and trying to find some place to work is Freedom's Flight. Saya's weaving through traffic. It's 2.5 lengths back to Jerome Avenue, who's a bit green. Trying to get underway from the back is Also Negro. He's having to alter course. Very wide off the turn was Betterment. Now the pace quickens. 3/4, 112 flat. There's an 1/8 of a mile to go. Sir Chubby has the lead, but he's on the ropes. To the attack now, it's Freedom Flight. Jerome Avenue splits horses down the center. Here's Salt King. He's a huge price, and he is in a photo finish. Very, very close on the wire. Salt King is 70 to 1. He's involved in the picture with Jerome Avenue and Freedom's Flight in 136 and 3.
Well, 12 up, 12 down. Hope you had a great weekend here at Gulfstream Park. You're probably aware, but if you're not, we're dark here in terms of live racing both Monday and Tuesday. Back at it this coming Wednesday, kicking off a 6-day live racing week with the first race post at 12:35. Good night, everybody.
Hit the hay. I've been working all day. Hit the hay. What do you say? Hit the hay. Hit the hay. Well, I'm tired. Let me tell you, Jack, I'm so tired.